Hi guys, welcome to ANIMEized. This is the English translated version of the novel Throne of Seal. The novel differs slightly from the Chinese animation or donghua. If you want more of these videos, please smash the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. Enjoy and have a blessed day.
The main ingredients in the pills you all eat come from the bodies of demons and magical beasts. Haven't I seen you all eating them too? I estimate that this guy was at least at the 7th rank of strength, and maybe even reached the 8th rank. Even with his strength suppressed here, it took a lot of effort to kill him. Although his body is in pieces now, it's still valuable stuff, and there are weapons too. We should take them with us. His sword is purely of the fire element. Boss, I'll buy it myself, and I'll give it to Xin later. Hee. It's a flame sword, brilliant grade, this is a great find. Xin pouted and said, "It looks like we should call you Brother Medicinal Pills who picks up junk from now on." Lin Xin continued to pick through the remains, and the group was delayed for a while before they continued their journey. According to Long HaoChen's memory, they shouldn't be too far from the next spirit furnace. There should be another spirit furnace ahead. After the events they just experienced, Long HaoChen became more cautious. The strength of the demon youth they killed exceeded his expectations, and what was more important, during the entry of the powerful demons into Dream Paradise, that guy had been ranked at the back. The hierarchy among the demons was very clear, with their positions reflecting their status. The dark-haired young demon with a mysterious aura walked at the front, indicating that he held the highest status. Even Yu Yi and Ling Xiao, who were considered top tier, were ranked 3rd and 4th, not even 2nd. Yu Yi was the most beloved daughter of the moon demon god. As for Ling Xiao, if Long HaoChen's guess was correct, she probably had some familial connection with the demon god emperor, or she was a member of the extraordinary demon dragon clan. The only thing Long HaoChen didn't understand was Ling Xiao's strength. Since she was a member of the exceptional demon dragon clan, why had her cultivation been less than the 6th rank before? And why had she suddenly broken through to a level clearly beyond the 6th rank? It can be said that the 10 members of the Temple Alliance who entered here are all members of the demon hunting squad, each with impressive strength. But the demons seem to have gone all out, sending the most powerful elite members of several races. If they were to encounter them one-on-one, it's likely that the members of the Alliance would suffer. This also makes Long HaoChen worry even more about caier. The enchanting scenery of Dream Paradise can easily relax one's mind. But Long HaoChen remains highly vigilant. Yating is sitting on his shoulder, linking her perception with Long HaoChen's. This way, Long HaoChen's extraordinary spiritual power can be maximized. You see, in this Dream Paradise, skills like True Vision and Scout's Eye are completely ineffective. Everything can only be explored through ground-based sensing. After about half an hour of travel, they came across a mangled demon beast corpse. The demon crystal had already been extracted, and there was no sign of any spirit furnace. Based on their previous encounters, it was clear that one spirit furnace had been forcibly taken. This had been done through violent means. Long HaoChen halted, and after a brief contemplation, he said in a deep voice, "Shima, dig a hole in the ground. Let's bury this demon beast, and return it to the embrace of nature, okay?" At this moment, the team's trust became evident, and no one questioned Long HaoChen's decision. A power pill of light was thrown down, creating a deep pit in the ground, and Long HaoChen didn't mind getting dirty. He dragged the demon beast over, and together with his companions, they buried it. Throughout the entire process, Yuting didn't make a sound. She simply watched Long HaoChen's actions in silence, and only when the burial was finished, did a subtle emotional fluctuation appear in her eyes, as if she were approving. "Let's go." After burying the corpse, Long HaoChen led his companions forward, and his decision wasn't solely based on his kindness, but also his understanding of Dream Paradise. This is a world left behind by the goddess of nature, so everything should be approached in harmony with nature. While killing can obtain spirit furnaces, who knows how difficult the trials might be. Even if they ultimately succeed, the price paid will certainly not be small. Since there is a way to minimize trouble, why not use it? When the Great Ape had left the spirit furnace for him earlier, Long HaoChen had already decided that their mission in Dream Paradise was to become its protectors. Not only would this make him feel at ease, it also suited his personality, and there was a good chance of gaining greater benefits. Long HaoChen's idea was quickly validated, and not far from where they buried the demon beast, he was suddenly surprised to find that his perception had become stronger. The range of his perception had increased by at least 1/3 in Dream Paradise. This was a significant enhancement, it seemed so. Long HaoChen suddenly realized, and he quietly said a few words to his companions. Everyone nodded in agreement, showing their full support for his decisions. For Long HaoChen at the moment, there were 2 immediate priorities: finding caier, and then continuing their actions in Dream Paradise according to his plan, until the time limit expires. No matter how strong an individual's power is, what can it do against nature? Unless one reaches the level of power like the demon god emperor, the increase in perception reassured Long HaoChen, and as they continued their journey, he soon had another feeling. this time sensing a strong clash of spiritual power, and it was clearer and more intense than when he had encountered the young demon earlier. After a brief contemplation, Long HaoChen stopped in his tracks and said to his companions, "It seems there's a battle not far ahead. Don't go there yet. Wait. For my signal, stay hidden." After saying this, he drew his dual swords once again and swiftly moved towards the source of the commotion ahead. Since it was a battle, there were certainly both allies and enemies involved. So they couldn't easily reveal their presence and the fact that they brought people into Dream Paradise. This wasn't just about hiding from the enemies, but also concealing it from the hunters of the Alliance, or else there could be trouble later. As he got closer, his perception became even more acute, and the battle ahead was fierce, with intense spiritual energy fluctuations that were hard to hide. Soon, Long HaoChen was close to the battlefield, and as he observed the battle from a distance, he couldn't help but feel relieved, because among the combatants, he spotted caier at a glance. The two sides were engaged in a melee, with a total of 7 participants, and surprisingly, Long HaoChen knew 4 of them, who were all formidable members of the Temple Alliance. Aside from caier, Long HaoChen also knew a person named Zhang FangFang, and the other 2 were a mage and a warrior. On the other side, there were 3 demons, Yi, Lin Xiao, and a young man exuding an orange glow all over his body, with an arrogant appearance. It was 4 against 3, and yet it was hard to tell who had the upper hand. Their strengths were evenly matched. In addition to these 7 individuals, there were also 3 demon beast corpses on the ground, which were all demon beasts. Not far from them, 3 spirit furnaces of different colors were hanging there, emitting a faint light. Surprisingly, there were 3 spirit furnaces, which explained the intense battle. Long HaoChen was secretly amazed, and at the same time, he couldn't help but feel excited. He was indeed excited. There was no need to summon his companions. He could join the battle himself, and their side would surely gain the upper hand, especially with the potential assistance of Yi at a critical moment. As long as those 3 spirit furnaces fall into the hands of the Alliance demon hunters, even if caier and I can only get one, it's still a good thing. Thinking about this, Long HaoChen adjusted his spiritual power, ready to dash out. But just in that moment, he suddenly felt an indescribable sense of intense danger behind him. Yiting also let out a scream, and a layer of golden light spread from her, enveloping both her and Long HaoChen. The crisis came so quickly that Long HaoChen felt his entire body tense up, but in situations like these, he often managed to unleash his strongest combat abilities. Dodging was already out of the question. As the enemy's attack was about to hit him, Long HaoChen suddenly relaxed his entire body, and his spiritual power surged to his back. At the same time, his body trembled violently along with the surge of spiritual power. Radiance ripple. This time, it wasn't just light that rippled, but also his body. In that seemingly subtle tremor, Long HaoChen had already adjusted his state to its peak. Bang! The golden light barrier first shattered, followed by the holy spirit protection of the brilliant holy armor breaking, and then a heavy fist, like a mountain, struck Long HaoChen from behind. Long HaoChen's whole body seemed powerless, and he flew forward like a kite with a broken string. For a moment, golden light radiated from his body. However, even as he was punched and sent flying, he managed to turn around in midair, and in midair, he turned around, seeing who the enemy behind him was, though they hadn't noticed him. He saw a handsome face before him, and a dark, ethereal aura suddenly expanded like a black net coming towards him, even in this place filled with the breath of nature. When this darkness and emptiness spread, Long HaoChen could still feel the annihilation of all life around him. Indeed, the enemy who had ambushed him from behind was the leader of the 10 demons on this expedition. At the same time Long HaoChen was punched and sent flying. There was also an instant scream on the other side of the battlefield. Long HaoChen's perception still covered the entire area, and he immediately felt an extremely powerful presence on the other side of the battlefield. With the appearance of this powerful presence, the magician from the Temple Alliance fell, clearly also a victim of an ambush. The black-haired youth had punched Long HaoChen, but was surprised to find that Long HaoChen didn't seem to be injured. A hint of confusion appeared on his face. Little did he know, Long HaoChen not only had strong personal defense, but he also used Radiance Ripple to dissipate most of the impact and neutralize the dark attribute impact. In addition, there was the Soul Chain Life Sharing, a powerful tool, and with all these factors combined, he was indeed injured, but not severely. Is the demon clan only capable of sneak attacks? Long HaoChen landed on the ground, and his spiritual wings spread wide behind him, emitting a dazzling light, without him needing to do anything. A large amount of golden light mist from the Dream Paradise forest was already gathering around his body. This was the advantage of being in this place, as Long HaoChen, with his Son of Light constitution and previous affinity with Dream Paradise, received tremendous support from the environment itself. Furthermore, he had Yiting's assistance. In contrast, the black-clad youth named Ah Bao by Huang Shuo was indeed powerful, but he obviously couldn't benefit from Dream Paradise in any way, and instead, he would be rejected by the surrounding environment. In this world, only the outcome matters, the process doesn't matter, Ah Bao said indifferently. and his emotions didn't show any fluctuations because of Long HaoChen's words. At this moment, although Long HaoChen was very worried about caier's situation, he didn't dare to divert his attention, as the pressure from the black-haired youth, Bao, was extremely intense, far surpassing that of the young demon from earlier. It seemed that as long as he revealed any weakness, the next moment would bring a devastating attack from this formidable demon. This is the difference between the demon clan and humans. In your hearts you have no moral principles, and no sense of shame. You're nothing more than beasts driven solely by survival instincts. In our eyes, you're no different from magical beasts. You're just stronger than ordinary magical beasts, Long HaoChen said coldly. In the black-clad youth's dark eyes, there was finally a momentary emotional fluctuation. But it quickly returned to normal, and a faint smile appeared on his face. Do you want to provoke me? You're still too green. Although I may seem only a little older than you, but in reality, I've been in this world for over 30 years. My will isn't something a few words from you can influence. Surrender or death, you can choose either one. You're one of the rare humans I've considered subduing. I can give you a chance. Long HaoChen also smiled. Are you waiting for your companions to surround and attack me after they kill my allies? But that doesn't seem to be easy. The enemy's ambush was indeed sudden, but in Long HaoChen's view, the current situation wasn't too bad. First of all, the sudden appearance of life-sharing would definitely attract the attention of his companions, and with their intelligence, it wouldn't be difficult to figure out that he was in trouble, and they would rush to his aid as the situation demanded. They would act accordingly. On the other side, caier and the others were undoubtedly at a disadvantage. But don't forget, Yi was undercover among the enemy. Yi had the restriction placed by caier, and when it came to life and death, she would naturally make a choice, so Long HaoChen wasn't in a hurry right now. Bao chuckled. Young man, you have quite a high opinion of yourself. Do you really think you need me and the others? Long HaoChen replied. Am I overestimating myself? Perhaps not. I just killed one of your people earlier. It even gave me an inheritance crown. Demon crystal as a gift. Upon hearing the 4 words, inheritance crown demon crystal, the black-clad youth's expression finally changed, and his face turned gloomy as he said, Whom did you kill? Long HaoChen saw the change in his expression and smiled unhurriedly, saying, It was the tallest among you all. If I'm not mistaken, he should be one of the heirs of Demon Lord Samijina. What about you? Being the leader of this expedition, your status must be higher than his. Samijina is already the 4th pillar demon god, so your identity is quite apparent. You are the successor to the demon god emperor. Should I address you as such? However, your name, Bao, sounds rather juvenile. You're very clever, but clever people tend to die quickly. Taking a step forward, Bao's body was surrounded by a layer of emptiness, and it appeared that his movements were extremely slow, but Long HaoChen felt a slight distortion in his field of vision, and in the next moment, Bao was already in front of him, still without using any weapons, and he simply punched directly. This time, Long HaoChen was well prepared, and in the face of Bao's attack, his gaze suddenly became sharp. He took a half-step back with his left foot, while his body made a downward movement. His left hand raised light punishment, and the intense light of radiant sun burst forth almost instantly. Moreover, the skill was completely integrated into his sword. At the same time, his right hand's blue rain, light lotus erupted in dazzling brilliance, and the twin dragons of light rain burst forth instantly. Facing Long HaoChen's counterattack, Bao seemed as if he didn't notice at all, and he made no attempt to resist. His fist only slightly changed its direction, still heading directly toward Long HaoChen. Clang! Was the first sound, as light punishment struck the black-clad youth's arm, and what shocked Long HaoChen was that his light punishment was directly deflected, and then the twin dragons of light rain from blue rain, light lotus erupted in a series of explosions on Bao's body. However, it still couldn't stop his advance. Even when struck directly by the twin dragons of light rain, Bao merely furrowed his brow slightly, and he suffered no damage at all. As the punch was about to reach him, Long HaoChen's right foot lightly tapped the ground, and his entire upper body twisted with the force, narrowly avoiding the attack. At the same time, the white light on his blue rain, light lotus intensified, forming a holy sword. From the beginning of the battle, Yating had been continuously chanting spells behind Long HaoChen, and at this moment, as Long HaoChen thrust his sword forward, the power of the holy sword was unleashed. However, Bao still didn't evade, allowing Long HaoChen's holy sword to strike his side. This time, the rebound force became even more terrifying. In that instant, Long HaoChen saw that his blue rain, light lotus had bent slightly due to the immense pressure, and the intense rebound force caused a tingling sensation in his right arm. He pushed off with his left foot against Bao's waist, using it to rebound away from him. And he landed about 10 meters away. His face was filled with astonishment. On Bao's body, there wasn't any defensive equipment visible, just a simple black robe. However, his attacks, even with Radiance Ripple, had no effect on him, and this kind of battle was a first for Long HaoChen. No matter how skilled you are, when your attacks are completely ineffective against your opponent, everything becomes futile. Ah Bao coldly said. With your current strength, can you really kill Shinshang? Even if you suppress your spiritual power, you're still no match for him. Your attacks are only slightly stronger than those of a trash knight who died by my hands earlier. But it's still not enough. Long HaoChen took a deep breath. He knew that Ah Bao was even more powerful than he had guessed. However, even with over 10,000 spiritual power, he shouldn't be able to withstand his attacks with a radiance ripple-infused holy sword using only his body, right? External spiritual power. These three words appeared almost instantly in Long HaoChen's mind, and he immediately understood why Ah Bao's defense was so terrifying. Yes, the Dream Paradise limits the maximum spiritual power to 10,000 inside. However, this limit primarily applies to internal spiritual power. While external spiritual power is a form of spiritual power, it mainly manifests as physical strength. As long as Ah Bao doesn't use external spiritual power to attack, but only for defense, even if his external spiritual power is strong, it won't be rejected by the rules of the Dream Paradise. But just how strong is his external spiritual power? It must be at least over 10,000. Otherwise, how could he withstand a 5th-ranked skill from a Radiant Knight with splendid equipment? Seeing the look of doubt in Long HaoChen's eyes, Ah Bao coldly smiled and said, "No need to guess, my external spiritual power exceeds 20,000. Even without using any internal spiritual power, I'm equivalent to an 8th-ranked powerhouse. With just you small fry, you want to make waves in front of me? That's simply a pipe dream. If it weren't for this annoying place restricting attacks, my first attack would have already sent you to the same fate as this world. 20,000 external spiritual power. For Long HaoChen, it was something that could only be described as unbelievable. Could external spiritual power really reach such a terrifying level? He had never even imagined it. His combined internal and external spiritual power didn't even exceed 7,000. However, at this moment, he had no possibility of retreating, because if he retreated, caier and his companions would have to face the formidable opponent in front of them. Taking a deep breath, Long HaoChen calmly said, "Since you're so powerful, why don't you just kill me directly? If we were in the outside world, maybe you would have that ability. But unfortunately, this is the Dream Paradise, and even if you wanted to kill me, I'm afraid you would be powerless, wouldn't you? No matter how strong your internal and external spiritual power is, when you enter here, your internal spiritual power will be limited to less than 10,000. And as for your external spiritual power, do you dare to use it to attack me? Even if I can't defeat you, it won't be easy for you to defeat me either." While saying this, Long HaoChen, on the contrary, retracted the light punishment in his hand. He had no doubt that the Ah Bao in front of him, who claimed to be in his 30s, had cultivation of at least the 8th rank, and possibly even the 9th. So what? This is the Dream Paradise. Long HaoChen moved in the next moment, his body charging forward in an instant, his speed pushed to the limit. His spiritual wings folded at his back, his eyes glaring at the opponent in front of him. With a disdainful snort, Ah Bao didn't seem to be moved by Long HaoChen's words, but this time, he didn't just throw a simple punch. In a blink of an eye, he had already reached Long HaoChen's side. An intense dark energy instantly wove into a large web in the air, heading straight for Long HaoChen. Long HaoChen's eyes lit up. In an instant, he raised the blue rain, light lotus high above his head, and a gleam of light shone in his eyes. The intense golden light instantly transformed into the sharpest slash, and Azura strike erupted. A sharp roar instantly burst forth, after continuous training. This was no longer a simple Azura strike, but rather, it was powered by the holy sword, enhanced further by Radiance Ripple, even though he didn't have time to charge it up at this moment. But even so, the power of this Azura strike could be described as terrifying. The biggest feature of Azura strike isn't its total damage output, but its sharpness. It concentrates all the attack power on its edge, and has the ability to gather all surrounding energy. The sound of tearing fabric erupted in the air. Even though Long HaoChen felt significant resistance, the formidable attacking power of Azura strike was still effective. The large web of intertwined dark energy was instantly split in half. At the same time, Long HaoChen repeated his previous move, and his golden wings at his back flapped instantly, increasing his speed to the maximum, and then, following the momentum of Azura strike, Azura Thorn was also activated in an instant. His combo may seem simple, but he had practiced it countless times, and the transitions were extremely smooth, especially after reaching the 6th rank. And with the acceleration from his spiritual wings, the power of this strike was naturally maximized. Even if you have over 20,000 external spiritual power, can you withstand my Azura Thorn, which concentrates all attack power into a single point and erupts? Ha! Seeing the powerful eruption of Azura strike, Ah Bao was momentarily surprised, as the opponent, who had seemed insignificant and somewhat clever in his eyes, suddenly became more challenging. However, he didn't seem to care. When faced with Long HaoChen's Azura Thorn, a purple gleam erupted in his eyes, and his black pupils suddenly turned purple, as he unexpectedly countered Azura Thorn in a way that Long HaoChen hadn't anticipated. He simply raised his right hand, extended his index finger forward, and in that instant, his index finger had completely turned translucent purple. and what could be seen was, around his finger, there were concentric circles of purple light converging inward. The power of this single finger caused a series of fine fractures to appear in the shimmering purple air. Theft. Azure Thorn collided with Ah Bao's index finger. Light against darkness, two completely opposite spiritual energies suddenly erupted. Long HaoChen felt as if his Azure Thorn had struck an insurmountable barrier, and a tremendous counterforce completely swallowed all his attack power. Terrifying dark energy suddenly surged, sweeping toward his body. However, on the other side, Ah Bao was not at ease either, as he had clearly underestimated Long HaoChen's strike. Azure Thorn could be said to be Long HaoChen's most powerful single-target attack skill at the moment, and in terms of attack power, it even surpassed others. Such an attack was not easy to withstand, was it? Moreover, the Blue Rain, Light Lotus was already an extraordinary weapon, even though it had not yet evolved to a legendary level. However, when its sharpness combined with Azure Thorn, it still unleashed extremely strong attack power. A piercing explosion reverberated in the air. Amidst muffled groans, Ah Bao instantly retreated, and his right hand substance fractured with a sound. The sharp spiritual power brought by Azure Thorn also caused a slight change in his complexion, and his entire body erupted in a deep purple aura, finally forcing the sharp spiritual power out of his body. Just from the way he dealt with Long HaoChen's finishing move, it was evident that Ah Bao's strength far exceeded that of the young demon Xinshan. The most crucial factor was undoubtedly his self-proclaimed external spiritual power of over 20,000. Long HaoChen also learned for the first time that external spiritual power could become so terrifying when it reached a certain level. However, his attack did not stop because of this. A mouthful of blood spewed from Long HaoChen's mouth, and a clear dragon's roar followed, even though Azure Thorn had been pushed back. But in an instant, his Blue Rain, Light Lotus transformed into two mini-dragons of light and water, heading straight for his opponent. Long HaoChen's idea was simple. Facing such a powerful opponent, winning through attrition alone was impossible, and it was only a matter of time before the opponent killed him. His only chance was to explode with power, a momentary burst of power. He needed to unleash all his hidden skills, at least to severely wound the opponent. Within the dream paradise, Long HaoChen's spiritual power recovery speed was much faster than others. Even in front of Ah Bao, Long HaoChen was confident that his spiritual power recovery was faster than Ah Bao's. In this situation, what he feared the least was an endurance battle. If he could injure Ah Bao, then, by continuing the battle of attrition, he might still have a chance. As expected, Ah Bao hadn't expected that Long HaoChen still had a follow-up move, and that it was such a powerful one. When Long HaoChen spewed that mouthful of blood, it wasn't because he was injured by Ah Bao's attack, but because he had consecutively unleashed his most powerful skill, and his meridians couldn't handle it, hence the bleeding. However, in this situation, he had still managed to release it. Amidst the intense booming sound, Ah Bao groaned once more, and his body was sent backward, and the blue and golden mini-dragons clung tightly to his body. Long HaoChen stood still in place, without giving himself a chance to catch his breath. Golden light mist instantly rose from his body, gathering power. His total internal spiritual power is around 6,000, and just now, these 3 consecutive attacks consumed nearly 5,000 spiritual power. This means his remaining spiritual power was originally insufficient to release the second Azure Thorn. However, inside this dream paradise, with the assistance of the light elemental elf Yiting, Long HaoChen managed to possess the ability to release the second Azure Thorn. Light Punishment has already replaced the position of Blue Rain and Light Lotus. Long HaoChen couldn't help but spew out another mouthful of blood, because he had pushed his gathering power ability to the extreme. In the air, you could even see patches of golden mist surging towards Long HaoChen, without replenishing his spiritual power, but directly entering his body and transforming into the power of Azure Thorn gathering power. This guy is a lunatic. This was the only thought in Ah Bao's mind at the moment. Long HaoChen initiated Azure Strike, and his attacks were relentless, with almost every strike pushing his body to the limit for release. He didn't give himself a moment to catch his breath, you could say. From the beginning, he was overextending his own strength, and he was injuring himself directly. Even the ability of the soul chain life sharing couldn't alleviate this entirely self-destructive battle style. Furthermore, a red radiance had appeared on Ah Bao. It was the Retribution Knight's locking skill. The same red light had also appeared on Long HaoChen. The sacrifice skill was activated. He was giving his all, but this was also his best opportunity. Even with Ah Bao's strength, he couldn't help but feel a little uneasy about Long HaoChen's desperate state. This kind of reckless attack, regardless of the consequences, could truly harm him. At this moment, Ah Bao also held nothing back. An ancient aura of oppression radiated from him. The black spiritual power that was initially released turned into a dark purple, and his eyes also completely turned dark purple. A pair of black dragon wings unfurled from his back, his fair skin covered in intricate deep purple dragon scales. With a powerful movement of his arms, he broke free from the constraints. Under the influence of his aura, Long HaoChen's gathering power Azure Thorn was almost launched at the same instant. A piercing roar caused the air around to distort violently. Under the effect of the sacrifice skill, Long HaoChen's attack directly cut through the air, and even more strangely, there was a complete absence of spiritual power fluctuations around his body. Everything gave off a strange feeling in that instant. Spiritual power condensed, completely concentrated in one point.